Hey guys, Jake here with another deck profile. I hope y'all have been doing alright. It's been quite a while, I know. I've just, gotten super busy. But now I'm back, and thanks to thanks to my good friends, Arthur, Danny, and our lovely mail delivery service. Thank your mailman and mail ladies, mail women, mail people, just thank them. They do a good job. But I'm going over my Adignisters right now. I think that they're a very cool, fun, gimmicky deck. They're probably one of the best Cybers decks out there, in my opinion. They have a whole lot going for them, and I think they're very, very viable, and I just think that they can do a whole lot. But anyways, let's get into the deck profile. Starting off, we run 3 Picari Adignister, the light one. This is one of your most important ones. Basically, it searches for your AI spell or trap cards. And the AI we have, it comes with like a Monster Reborn, and they have a really good field spell, but mainly you're going to be searching for the field spell because it just does a whole lot for this deck, and this just searches for it immediately. So this is one of your most important cards in the deck because you want to see it, because you want to get that field spell. But we'll go over the field spell later. But anyways, yeah, he's just your spell and trap searcher. So he's a good card. Next off, we have 3 Achichi Adignister. He's your Stratos. He searches for any of your level 4 or lower Adignisters. There's like 2 or 3 that are high level, higher levels, but we don't worry about that. He just searches for the really good ones. And then he has like a cool blow up effect, but you don't really see that. But yeah, so he's your other like most important card because you want to see your 2 searchers like always. So you got your spell trap searcher and you got your monster searcher. Next up, we will run 3 Doyon Adignister. Now Doyon, he's like a recycler. Whenever you normal summon, whenever he's summoned, you get a monster from your grave back to the hand. If you link summon, you get a spell or trap from your graveyard back to your hand. So basically, overall, he just helps recycle, which is always great in the game because you always want to recur your stuff sometimes, but you do in this deck. Anyways, we're moving on to 2 Bururu. These names though, man. Yeah, Bururu, he's your tuner. So he's gonna get you into your synchro plays, but he's also a foolish burial. So you can just discard something, or you can just ditch something you don't want, the Monster Reborn it, or just something you're not wanting to see in your hand at that time, and just kind of get that out of the way. But yeah, so we run 2 of him. Next I run 2 Hayari and 1 Doyon. So these both are just extra extenders. If you control an Adignister, just summon them from the hand. Doyon, but they both have additional effects. So Doyon, whenever he's on the field, you return a link monster from your graveyard to your extra deck, which is always good to recur things. It adds a fusion spell from your deck to your hand. So he searches for fusions card. He searches for the fusion card. And then you have Hayari. And so Hayari is basically, you tribute a monster and you add a level 5 or higher Cybers monster from your deck to your hand. So it's another kind of searcher. But if you tribute a link monster, then you get a level 5 or higher Cybers Adignister and a ritual monster. And a ritual spell. Sorry. And the ritual spell. So it just searches for search for fusion, search for ritual, basically. Next up, I'm running 2 Gachiri. This is your big shield, your big defense guy. He basically just protects all of your Cybers monsters you currently control in the field from card effects like once per turn. And he's literally just summons himself from the hand, which is really good. You don't have to tribute him or anything like that. He just summons himself, which is really great for a big guy like him. I don't play the sword one. There is a new sword one, but I don't play him right now. He's in my thoughts in the back burner, but as of right now, I think Gachiri's a lot better. The shield one's a lot better than the sword one. So, anyways, I run 1 Water Leviathan. This is one of the boss monsters. I honestly really like this card. This card has gotten me out of a pinch in so many games. Basically, it's a compulse for everything that's under 2300 when it's summoned. I can recycle every Link monster in my graveyard back to the extra deck to make a monster my opponent controls 0. And then if any monster battles it, so I attack or you attack me, it cuts it in half so it just gets over it. I really like this card. It's really easy to summon in this deck. I know a lot of people probably wouldn't run it, but in my personal opinion, this is a great card, and I would at least try to run it. Onto the Cybers that aren't Adignisters, because that was it of them. We run 3 Parallel Exceed because it's a good card and just summons itself. Good recursion. Good putting bodies on the board. Good for Xyz plays also. I play 1 Cybers Converter and 1 Backup Secretary just to put extra bodies on the board because they just summon when a Cybers is on the field, which is the whole deck. Onto the spells. We run 3 Adignister Island, or Ignister Island, or a Island, whatever. This is probably your most important spell in the deck. So literally, when it's on the field and you have no monsters in your main monster zone, you special summon an Adignister from your hand to summon an Adignister from your hand, and then you can constantly do this for once for each attribute. So like I could activate this and free summon the yellow one, and then if I link that one away, free summon the purple one, link that away, free summon the red one. Like as long as there's literally no monsters in the main monster zone, I just put bodies on the board, which is great. And also, if this were to be destroyed by battle or destroyed by card effects, basically it recurs itself. It banishes an Adignister from my graveyard to set itself back. So literally, it will always be there. Unless it's banished, it will always come back, which is super awesome in my opinion, because it's literally one of the best cards in the deck. Next we run 3 Idle Reborn. So Idle Reborn, this is your monster reborn in the deck. It's a quick play, which is super cool. We run 3 Cynet Mighting, because everything in this deck is Cybers, so you want to see Cybers monsters. We run 3 Called by the Graves, because we hate hand traps, and we don't want to get hit by Ash, or Ogre, or whatever the other hand traps are, or DD Crow, or name all of the hand traps. Next I'm running 2 AI or Eye Contact. I love that I'll literally just, they're all puns. And that's literally one of the reasons that I love this deck. But anyways, so Eye Contact literally is just like, if I already have Island on the field and I have an Island in my hand, I just activate that, put the Island in my hand at the bottom of the deck, and I draw 3 cards. So literally this is like the draw power of the deck, and it's really easy to go off and use because you have so much search for your field spell in this deck. So I like using this card. Next, for more generic support, we run Monster Reborn, of course. We run Terraforming because we want to see the field spell. And now I'm running Eyes Ritual and I Love Fusion. Eyes Ritual, basically if I control an Adignister already, I can banish monsters from my graveyard instead. So I can get rid of the big level 8 if it's in my graveyard, or I can just get rid of stuff that I don't need at that time. And it literally, like, I don't have to use bodies on my board to summon the ritual. And it's just really easy. So this literally makes it super easy to summon the ritual monster. So that's why I run the ritual monster. Otherwise, if it didn't have that effect, I probably wouldn't be running it. But yeah, anyways. And then the I Love Fusion is basically fusion of fire for Salamangreats. But I search it with the Doyon, the Earth one, and if my opponent has a Link monster, then I can use their Link monster to fusion summon with. Like, it just takes it like Super Poly, which is really cool. So that's the deck. On to the extra deck. We run 2 Lingaribo. This is the the dark scarier Linkuriboh. This is like Linkuriboh's like mean brother, evil cousin, whatever. But basically, you tribute it to negate traps, which is pretty cool if your opponent's running traps, of course. But basically, it's a super easy Link one to go into, which is a lot of your combo plays is this card. Next, we run one Cyberse Kid. This searches for your tuner. We run one Splash Mage. For anyone running Adignisters or playing Adignisters, I would highly suggest this card because this is such a good card. It literally just puts a free body from the graveyard onto your field for free. Just like its effects negated, but that literally just makes it easy to go into just higher links. So like I would suggest this card. It's such a great card. One Transcode Talker because it's it's just free body on the board, and with the whole targeting when it's co-link cool thing, boosting by attack, all that such. Transcode Talker is always a good card for any Cyberse deck. Next, we are running two Dark Templar Adignister. This is your basically mini soul charge of the deck. When a monster is summoned to where he points, so he points all down, which is cool. He summons two more Adignisters from the grave to where he points. And that literally just goes off with your combo pieces. And also, if he destroys a monster by battle, then he can special summon a Cyberse or a Link monster from the graveyard. One of those. It's a Cyberse monster. He can, if he kills over something, you get to bring something back, which is always really cool. Next up, we have one Avermax. Avermax, probably one of the strongest Cyberse cards in the whole game. It's just a good card. It's really good. It gets over any beat sticks. It gets over things. It's really great. I would suggest running it in decks. I am playing one Firewall Dark Fluid. This card is ridiculous in this deck. So if you have a Ritual, Fusion, Synchro, and Xyz monster in your graveyard, you put a counter on him. For each counter he has, he can negate that many monster effects. That's not once per turn, which is cool. So you just put him out first turn with like 4 negates for monsters, and you can just go through all the just go through your negates and just negate your opponent and all that such. So good first turn. But he's also great going second because for every counter that he has, he gains 2,500 attack points during your either player's battle phase. So if you have all 4 in your graveyard and give him 4 counters, during both players' battle phase, he goes up to 13,000 attack points. That is insane. That is such a good, that's so high, it just OTKs. This is such a good OTKing card. I've brought this up to, I brought this up to 13,000 before and just OTK'd someone. It's great. I love it. This card is great in this deck. Next you have the other boss monster. We have the Arrival Cyberse. Basically this guy cannot be touched. He's unaffected by card effects. He gets a free pop and summons a token for you to go off with. And literally for every monster that you use to summon this guy, he gains 1,000 attack points. So if you can go really, really hard and put all 6 different attributes on the board and go for him, that's 6,000 attack points. Otherwise, you can go the easy way and go for just 4,000 attack points. But that's a 4,000 beat stick that is unaffected by anything, that you literally only have to kill, you can only kill by battle. Like, that's insane. This is like really what this deck really needed, and it's such a great card. I just hope it doesn't get kaiju'd, because that would be sad. But anyways, good card for this deck. I would run it. For anyone running Adignisters, run this card. For our Synchros, we're running one Pegasus. For every Adignister monster that I control, it's not different named, it's just Adignister. For every different one I control, I can blow up that many spells and traps my opponent has. So this gets rid of my opponent's back row. And if it's in my graveyard and any of my Cyberse or Adignister monsters are destroyed by battle or card effects, I banish him from the graveyard and shuffle a monster, or shuffle any card that my opponent controls back into the deck. So if they have something big that I can't get over, or a card that's negating stuff, or any of that, I just send it right back and continue off of my plays. Such a good card. My other synchro I'm running is not Quasar, Quantum. There we go. Cyber's Quantum Dragon basically is a Grand Mole but synchro in synchro form. So he attacks a monster, I bounce it back, and then he attacks again. So that's really cool. Really good for this deck because like I can easily summon it. I am running 2 Light Dragon at Ignister. Like how the Pegasus blows up spell cards for how many ad Ignisters I have, he does the same but for monsters. So for each Ignister monster I have, I detach a unit and blow up that many cards. Also he has like 3 effects total. So he has the blow up effect. He has, if any of my monsters would be destroyed by battle or card effects, I think it's just card effects, hold on one second, would be destroyed by a card effect, not battle, but by a card effect, then I detach material to protect all my monsters, or that monster if it was targeted, anyways. And then if any of my other Cyberse monsters deal damage, I can special summon a Cyberse or Link monster from my graveyard to the field. So it's just, it does a whole lot of damage. And it just gets rid of so many problems. And so this is probably one of the best boss cards in this deck. And finally, we have the 1 Earth Golem. Basically, he's super easy to summon, of course, but mainly if my opponent has a monster from the extra deck and he battles it, he doubles his original attack points. So he goes from a 23 beat stick to a 46 beat stick. That should hopefully get over whatever they summon, and it just does a whole lot of damage. And if he's destroyed by battle, he special summons a Cyberse from the graveyard. So you can kind of see with this deck that there's a lot of recursion. But that, my friends, is the deck. And that, guys, will conclude my Cyberse or Ad Ignister deck profile. My Ad Ignisters. Honestly, the deck is really gimmicky. It's really fun. One of my personal favorite things about this deck is that it can go into all of the summoning methods, minus Pendulum. But just, you know, Ritual, Synchro, Xyz, Fusion, Link Monster, like that personally to me is super cool, and I think that it gives it like a lot more options. Literally, it's just like if you're put in a position where you're just like, oh, I need to do this over this, but like I should Xyz summon, I should Fusion summon, I should Synchro summon. Like you have, in my opinion, different options of what you can do with this deck. And if you get like a really good hand, you can actually summon all of these guys. I've done it several times before, but only with like the perfect hand. But I love what the deck does. It's a lot better now that the arrivals showed up. You know, it's got all the different attributes, which I think is really cool and gimmicky and fun. And I just personally love this deck so much. It's grown a lot on me. This is what hopefully I'll be working on a whole lot more. But it's just overall, this is such a great deck. And I hope that you guys truly enjoyed this. I know it's been a while for me, but I hope that you guys enjoyed the deck profile. If you have any suggestions for this deck, please leave in the comments. Let me know, because I'm literally looking for so many ways of making this deck better and to, you know, to go forward with this deck, what you guys want to see, all that such. But yeah, like I said before, love the deck a whole lot. I have some more deck profiles coming for you guys. I hope that y'all just hang in your seats and just get excited and ready for the new stuff we got coming on this channel, for our new deck profiles and all that. But overall, thank you guys so much for watching and sticking around to see my Ad Ignister deck profile. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Again, like, subscribe in the comments what you think I should do, and just y'all have a wonderful day.